a big
Yeah,
short zone.
that's a big.
That's
That's a
the
big one.
zone we got to, because if we don't, we basically form that head and shoulders. As you guys saw it on the daily. If we
Yeah,
don't clear
we can
the
squ-
30K this time, that might be. Oof.
we can squeak up to about, I think, like 30-ish for that head and shoulders, like if that's a wick.
Yeah, so bearish.
What?
Yeah, but bearish counts, we still go up now to 29.30 and we reject. And if we reject, we definitely open to a low 20s because it's quite a significant pattern if it's a higher time frame. Obviously, if we break it, yeah, I think we're going to see a mega weekly squeeze.
Yeah, that would be the sickest case scenario in this situation. Would be somewhere up to like 29.5 to 30, and then a nice old reversal down to like 22, 23. That would be sick.
Morning, guys.
Yeah, morning, bro. Yeah, it would be interesting. Again, I think the biggest way they screw the market is we go to like 40 here. I think no one will get it. I think everyone will be caught off guard. And I think it sort of puts everyone's plans off for we're going to pump.
I won't be caught off guard because I've been positioning myself for this like a mofo, bro. I fucking added to my Doge position this morning.
Yes, Red. Yes, bro. Yes.
My rune position.
The DJ King is back.
Position's up.
Yes.
My rune position is up, bro. Fucking, you see my rune position, you won't even believe what's going on.
Oh, lunch on Ram today, bro. I love it, bro. This is what we want, bro.
Yeah, I know. Ori is my Bitget account ready and registered and everything. Can I start going, bro?
Yeah, I think so.
I think Dylan's creaming
send me
that thing already.
Send me the login and send me the login and let's press some buttons there, boy.
Bro, this would be, imagine for like the first, I think in the last year and a half, if we can have a green like competition, it would be amazing.
Yeah,
because the last like year and a half it's been like red. Like if we can have a green, like it'll be amazing.
Why are you both buying Doge? It's really weak compared to the rest of the market.
No, I'm still in my Doge from. Remember what the goal is now, bro. I trade the trades, and this is the ones I open in Singapore. I just doubled down yesterday, so I'm like my position is like 480K position size on it now. Because I obviously TP'd on Sol a little bit earlier yesterday, and now I'm just sitting with a whole bunch of cash on the side. So I've just still a good entry on Doge. It's all about entry and protecting your entry. Like, yeah.
Tell you why I'm in Doge because I know that when the market gets confident, it always runs, and it's the only one that doesn't run. And if you look at the lowest point that it's been, it's like 6 cents or 0.6.
Exactly. Especially if you look at the weekend, it's like right at the bottom.
It's 5%. It's 5% from the worst case scenario. So, and it always eventually runs. So the market's running. It's one of the tokens that hasn't run. So now I took a position in.
It's a very,
like an
very,
very coin where it will trend sideways for a couple of weeks and then it will just have this like random 40% pump in like 2-3 days.
I also think Doge has one of like the best risk to reward returns right now for sure.
Exactly. It's similar to the Chainlink, buying Chainlink at 6. Okay, sorry, Ron. We're excited, bro. We're finally trading, bro.
Before we get 100% into content, I just want to ask you guys a few questions. So first of all, is everybody here? Let's just quickly go into it. Let's just see.
Present.
How many people are
a lot of people are here.
I think it's super important. That we talk about the newsroom. So we did a migration to Telegram, right? From WhatsApp. And I think since we did the migration from Telegram to WhatsApp, quite keen to understand from people why people are posting less now that we moved to Telegram. Because I can feel that there is a drop. I just want to try and understand what is the drop.
Who's posting less? I feel like I'm posting.
Yeah, you're the only one posting. The problem is that relative to everyone else, you're over posting. I'm saying it's a good thing that you're posting a lot. The problem is because everyone else is slowed down, then it seems like one person's posting 50% of the content. You know, so I think this is not a question for you. I think the question is for people like Fred, people like Gid, people just generally, what is it about the Telegram experience that makes it less enjoyable? That's what I'm trying to understand. Because I'm guilty. I'm guilty of it, and I've actually physically I've tried to force myself to fix it, and for some reason I just can't. It's not the same experience. I'm trying to work out what is it about the experience that's not as nice. So I need insight from people.
Look,
I need insight from
habit
some,
forming,
one
like
thing. One thing
you
with
form habits
Telegram
over a
is
long
that, like,
duration.
Okay.
Sorry, James.
Yeah.
But I was just gonna say,
yeah,
yeah,
look,
like habits take a long time to establish, like just in life in general, and like breaking a long-standing habit of like 3 years of posting on WhatsApp and checking WhatsApp is like actually quite a much harder shift than you'd think. Just your muscle memory, just even where your WhatsApp's placed on your iPhone, like little things like that. It's just not like as intuitive. Like I honestly am not checking Telegram. Like,
But
I don't know, I'm
Miles,
just not doing
to be fair, Miles, you weren't posting.
Stop.
I'm not talking about Fred.
Fred, wait.
I'm not talking about me. I'm saying it as a generalization.
Tell me
Like,
why
this is more of a
you don't check
generalization.
Telegram. Tell me why you don't check Telegram. Tell me why you don't check
I do
Telegram.
check it
What
once
is
a
it about?
day. It stresses me out because I have a bunch of projects messaging me there. And it's like a bit of a, maybe it's just my fault I haven't folded everything, but
no, I
I
mean,
feel like
like,
there's a
Miles,
bunch
in
of
terms of
people
what
trying to
you're
message me
saying,
there.
like, I spent like 3 years in Telegram from when I first started crypto. So like Telegram was completely natural to me. But when I got into the newsroom, that was all on WhatsApp. Like, it did take me a couple of weeks to start using WhatsApp properly for the newsroom, because I don't use WhatsApp for anything really except for messaging in real life people. So it took me a little bit of time to transition over to that. One of the things that's a little bit like bothersome for me in terms of Telegram that is getting used to is in WhatsApp, when you post a link, as soon as you let it load for a couple of seconds, it shows the entirety of what you're doing with the image and everything as well. On Telegram, it doesn't always do that. So then when they come through, it's just a little bit of text and it's missing the image sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. So it's a little bit inconsistent on that front. That's the only thing I've noticed. But if you've got a bunch of
just sorry, if you have a perfect format, for example, an image and then a link, then it's going to be similar to WhatsApp. And the best part about Telegram is that, later in the future, when you are using APIs, then it's easier to, implement APIs and automated news in Telegram and Discord rather than on WhatsApp.
No, guys, I know what the advantage. I know what the advantages are of Telegram. I'm trying to understand from a behavioral point of view why Telegram is not a good enough experience for us. Because there's two things for me. There's two things that make the newsroom good, and there's one thing that makes the newsroom really bad. The thing that makes the newsroom good is the two things. One is when there's high alpha, high quality posts regularly from everyone. And the bad thing is, and the other thing that makes it good is when we banter in the group. Now, there's no banter in a Telegram group. And number one. Number two, in terms of the posting, there's the same people posting. There's 5 people that account for 90% of the posts. And not always the right 5 people. Now, when I say the right 5 people, it is the reason why people come to banter is because they know the reason why they come to newsroom is because it's banter's newsroom. The majority of the people that are posting are the people that are newer to banter, aren't really polished in terms of what we consider alpha and what we don't consider alpha. And so sometimes the posts then look like spam.
Well, that's an easy fix, Rand. So basically just give me an internship and get me polished up.
But not only you. It's not only you. I've got to fix the system. I've got to fix the system. Yeah, we've got to fix the system. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand because worst case scenario, it carries on like this. We land up having to go 100 steps back. 100 steps back means we lose the newsroom and just decide, okay, we're not going to have a public newsroom. And in our next meeting, I'll tell you why I think that's a very dangerous strategy. And the other option is to go back into WhatsApp and then to hire people in the Philippines to copy and paste messages for us all day long. So I've worked out the cost of doing that is $2,000 a month. So to have one person on shift 8 hours, three people on shift every 8 hours. Problem is that if we do that, we're gonna get a whole lot of mistakes. There's no way that a human, like you can't make a bot because WhatsApp doesn't have an API. And so we're gonna end up relying on humans, and if we rely on humans, we're gonna have like bad mistakes kind of thing. Like we're gonna have tons of mistakes. So
Ron, I can chime in on the problem, less so perhaps on the solution. But the problem for me is that, as has been mentioned here, I'm less used to using the app, and therefore my day, if you look at the way sort of I split my time, it's mainly on WhatsApp, sort of Twitter when I'm actually consuming, and then when I'm sort of my working day is mainly on WhatsApp. So therefore it makes it easier for me to sort of all be and I've specifically had pinned, say, the newsroom chat in my WhatsApp, and it was just sort of structurally easy for me. What I've noticed in Telegram is that for like every person in my contacts that joins the application for some sort of weird reason, I get notified. It's taken me like just a week to sort of understand the app and put my settings in line and notifications and everything else. And also beyond that, there's been some, Jewish holidays here and baby things that I've had to deal with. So
but no, I'm not personal excuse. I'm not worried. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about like, how do we get this right? If we don't get this right, we're gonna have a big issue. So like,
maybe we could, jokes aside, maybe we could just do like a meeting where there's someone on this group that's really good with Telegram and feels he could lead or just show how to sort of clean it up and make it easy for all of us to use. I feel like I need like a tutorial, and I'm like not finding the time to find the right one on YouTube or whatever else it is. But maybe seriously, if we could have a tutorial on how to use it properly from someone who calls themselves an expert.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, if you do, just reach out. Let's try and make a concerted effort. To get it right. If we don't get it right in the next 7 days, we've got to make a plan B, because we're getting
just quickly on that front. So I'm like 3 years everyday Telegram, so I'm happy to help out whoever wants to clean their Telegram up, because my Telegram's super clean. The other suggestion I had was,
I need to clean mine up, bro. I'm literally getting like.
Oh yeah, man. I'll get it cleaned up real quick.
Thank you, bro.
The other suggestion that I had, if you do have time for it, in regards to the newsroom, because obviously there's people in there that have a clearer idea of what it is that is alpha for you, and presenting wise is a lot easier for those that know. If we were able to even get like a document out or something like that to those that, myself included, to see what it is exactly that you would like posted in there, so it doesn't look like spam, I think that would make the room run a lot more efficiently.
Well, let's quickly just talk about that. Let's talk about that. The idea is not to post a lot. The idea is to post a little, and for every post to be what we consider high value alpha. So it's almost like you got to think to yourself, the stuff that I post is a reflection of who I am in the group. And if you're posting like if you're just forwarding shit from Cointelegraph, like the idea behind the news group is to be highly curated, and to post stuff that we consider alpha. What do we consider alpha? Stuff that's relevant, stuff that will move the market, and stuff that I can trade on. Otherwise it's just boring shit. Like, so I think it's a case of like really understanding whether what you're posting for volume, or you're posting because it's actually going to give you clout. This should almost be the equivalent of Twitter. So it's almost like, like what would you do if this was your Twitter profile? Well, what would you still post it if it was your Twitter profile? Yes or no? Now, I don't want to stop people from posting, like sometimes you may hit a gem. But the other thing is, we should try and duplicate as little as possible, because remember, it's not a public product. So like, maybe just before you post, just quickly scroll up and down in the last 20 messages and just make sure just get a feel for what's going on. So if we don't all post the same message, I'm guilty as like everyone else. I realize now that I actually post like 2 messages like 2 minutes after somebody else posted them yesterday. But I think we need to get it right. So Why do I say we need to get
Yeah,
it right?
that's
We're getting
exactly what I was
another
going to ask you as well for like duplicating posts and whatnot. I'm going to reach out to a couple of people that I know that can do Telegram bots really easily. There'll be something that we'll be able to put into the group that will like really easily show us if what we're posting has already been posted before.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that is something we should look at. So listen, I'm leaving Joe
Yeah,
in
it's super
charge.
simple.
Joe is in charge of making sure this group has quality. We need to get the group right. We're getting another crypto bubbles competitor, and we need to make sure that and I think it's going to be quite a slick competitor. So we need to make sure that that we are that we have a great product on the places where we can win. We're not winning on the tech because the guy's got a 2-year head start on us when it comes to tech. So we need to beat him on things where we can beat him. And the way to beat them is to beat them on the stuff that they can't copy us, which is things like the research group and the research call and whatever else. So that's the first thing. Very important that we get it right. If not, we're gonna have to take crazy measures to get it right. Like maybe moving back to WhatsApp and getting Philippine people to copy paste, which is the research that I did this weekend. Cool. So that's when it comes to research group. Next thing is the news call. So I think that the news call is more than just a news call. I think it's a staff meeting every morning. I think it's a place for us to discuss what needs to be discussed. With that said, I listened to something that Annie said on the call on the Banter reality show this weekend on building Banter. She said like, yeah, I don't need to be there. And you know, the truth is, I actually appreciate that some people just literally get zero value being here. They add zero value. I mean, I don't even know if Annie's actually even on the call this morning. Is she? You see, so I think that let's rather do the following. Let's just decide who wants to be on and who doesn't want to be on. If you're on, it's compulsory. If you don't want to be on, have a nice day, kind of thing. Like, just move on. But what I don't want is I don't want tourists. So I want buy-in. If people want to be in on the call, great. Then you're in, and then it's compulsory for you. If you don't want to be on the call, that's also great. But then don't come to the call, kind of thing. Like, you know, like we don't want tourists. So we want to get a core bunch of people who are seasoned and trained in building, like delivering alpha and stuff like that. I think it's going to be a very, very, very powerful tool. But if you're going to be on some time and not be on other times, then honestly, I'd rather just like, if it's not something that you want to be on, then don't be on it. And I'd rather call with 5 people who are all keen to be here and add value, and the rest of the people. So yeah, I will send a in the WhatsApp group, not the Telegram group. In fact, I'll send in the Telegram group too. I'll send the thing. If you commit, you're on. If you don't, if you exit, that's fine. You can exit, but no, there are no more passengers, kind of thing. If you're in, you're in. If you're out, you're out. If you're in, it's compulsory. If you're out, great. Find something else to do with your time. That's amazing. Is that fine?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, cool. Let's go. Okay, lastly, okay, so I think we've cracked the Banter channel strategy. Very keen to get feedback from you guys on the Banter channel strategy, and to get one again, like, so if you're not on the call, you're not going to be part of these decisions, because a lot of these decisions are going to be made in the morning call. So example, so we think we have the Banter channel strategy right. Keen to understand from you guys if you like or don't like it. This is probably 5 to 10 minutes now discussing it. So we're going to have Banter. We're going to have another channel, which is going to be Banter Podcasts, which is going to be for long form one-on-one interviews. And we're happy if we post one piece of content a day or 2 days or 3 days or even one piece of content a week. Like, it's Banter Podcasts. It's made for Banter Podcasts. The next channel we're going to have is Banter Web3 or Banter Gaming, which is going to be NFTs and gaming. And that's going to be a vertical NFTs and gaming. We're going to have Banter How-To. And Banter How-To is how to make money. It's basically as simple as that, Banter How-To. And the last one, which is currently Banter Plus, we have 2 directions for it. And this is where I think I need people's help. So should we do Banter Plus and make it Banter Premium, and basically just position it as premium content that you don't get on the main channel? Or should we position it as Banter Degen Plus? And when I say Banter Degen Plus, I mean Banter high risk zone. So like almost like saying, look, like Banter's great, but if you want to go 10x leverage, then you got Banter Plus. And so like position it as the one is normal, like the normal programming, and one is like, look, if you're really in DGen mode and you want to switch on, then that's where you go to Banter Plus. That's where we give you updated trades, we give you live trading. Anything that is a little bit more DGen than normal goes onto Banter Plus. Anything that is vanilla goes onto Banter. Or we go Banter Premium and Banter Regular, basically. And the premium is, we position it as premium content, stuff that you can't get on the main channel. So now, interesting. I'm keen to hear your feedback here. If anybody has feedback.
Yeah, I'll say something very quick.
Yeah, you go.
Just very quickly, I think that if the market starts to move into a bullish market, a DGen channel will absolutely fly, and you'd be looking for growth on that channel anyway. So that could be a good opportunity. The only problem with premium is then it's like, well, why would we watch anything regular? We just want premium everything.
Right, but that's what I want. I'll tell you why I like that is because kind of thinking. I'll give you one example of something I think should be happening. I think that Sheldon and Dylan should be alternating shows between main channel and side and Banter Plus. Why? Because I think Sheldon's got his base. I think Sheldon's base is going to follow him regardless of whether he's on the normal channel or Plus. And I think that we can use the opportunity to build Dylan. Just give me one example. There's tens of examples like this, right? So like if I were there, and maybe it's a discussion we'll have, is Dylan goes one day, Sheldon goes the next day. Dylan goes one day, Sheldon goes the next day. You know, so I don't know. I'm putting these things out there.
Yeah, so that's what I don't understand, because me and Dill are already on the same show every day. We do it together, basically.
Yeah,
so
I think
it's alternating.
It's the Sheldon show. It's the Sheldon show. It's not Dylan show.
Yes.
It's the Sheldon show, right? So
Yeah,
what if it was Dylan show?
Yeah.
So I'm saying like, so I think once we decide how to position the channel, we'll know how to position the shows. But I'm saying, so I'm a bit torn. Are we doing Banter Degen, Banter more Degen, or Banter more Premium? I think that's the question.
So, yeah, I think more Degen. Reason why I'm saying is, bro, like when we started this thing and we hit the 2 bull markets in the beginning and we blew up, you know, we never gave a single, for the first year and a half, we never gave any leverage trades.
Yeah.
Like there was no leverage at all within Banter, and we exploded massively there. So I think going clean on Banter and just keeping it the more vanilla side, I think it's brilliant. I think it will still get just as much growth and explosion. But then I do think, yes, the live trading and Degen channel, I wouldn't make it a premium. I'll just make it a Degen.
Okay, so Sheldon,
I'm a fan of the Degen. Yeah.
Okay, wait, hold on. Hold on, guys.
I have a question. What would be the difference? Well, I get the difference, but between the podcast and the premium, because what would premium content be?
Podcast is
Joe Rogan interviews.
Interviews, and I want to have. Hold on, let me finish. I want to have interviews, and I want the interviews to have a long time to run. So I want people to do 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour interviews, and I want them to have a long time to run. I want them to have like 3 days between one and the other kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like I want like a podcast channel, which like long form. Premium is content that you can't get on the main channel. It's almost like you would have had to pay a premium to watch. So live trading with Sheldon, FOMC stuff, all stuff that we traditionally
Okay, this is quite interesting because usually we have the FOMCs and they usually like kill your show run whenever we have these live events and stuff. So I do think the premium does make sense and still allows your show.
If it's premium, I'm gonna move my show. If it's premium, I think I'm gonna move my show to Banter to premium because I want to be on the premium channel.
Okay, but so you're basically saying this Banter Plus will be changed to either the Degen or the Premium, right? The one that already has a bit of a following, a bit of a base. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm leaning slightly towards the Degening. Like I still think trading is the big part that we need a little bit more room for. So, and just a little bit more growth there. You know what I mean? If we can get the
hold on.
trading.
So okay. So I've dropped a poll in the Telegram group. Let's go vote.
I have one more question. How does this solve the problem of like just all the channels? Because Web3 is obvious, but who else is moving off Banter?
Depends how we position it. Depends if it's the premium
I think
content or
the key
the
of this, Caroline, is every host will still have their 3-4 shows on the main channel, but where you want to go extra.
Well, guys, hold on.
Let's go one at a time.
Once we structure, follow strategy. Once we decide how we want to position the channel, then we'll decide what programming goes on there. But first, let's decide. I think there's a space for both. One is premium content and one is degen high risk. Once we decide which channel, what strategy we're following, then we'll decide which shows actually live there. So I'll give you an example. If we go Banter Premium, then I want to move my show there. If we go Banter Degen, then it should be much more trading, high risk type of content, like high risk strategies.
But why do you want to make it high risk? Why
does it have to be high risk? Yeah, same as me. Why can't it just be Banter trades? I mean,
I think we should just have a fundamental. I think what's good about Banter, especially looking at your shows, like people can come and look at Miles and Hustle and you for the macro stuff, for understanding projects, for understanding the macro landscape, whatnot, and people want to come for trades. But like I just think it's a huge risk of doing a DJ channel where we're going to wreck people.
I'll tell you. No, why are we going to wreck people?
I mean, high risk, like it's high risk.
To be honest, anything above 1x is higher risk, and that's what Run's saying. It's not that we're going to go there and do 100x
no, but leverage.
No, I'm saying sometimes I'm in the mood. Sometimes I'm in the mood to degen. Sometimes I'm in the mood to degen. I want to degen with a bunch of. If I want to degen.
Yeah, but then you can just take a good trade. If we take a serious approach, you can just take that trade with a 50x leverage. Then you go degen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then I prefer not to do it on the main channel. If we go with that strategy, right? Because I just think that's not for everyone. I think that if you're going, if you go on the main channel with 50x leverage.
No, but that's what I'm saying, Red. I think it shouldn't be marketed as a degen channel. I think it should be targeted as marketed as a serious trading channel and just tell people, hey, if you want a degen, go 50x on this trade. We're taking proper risk management.
I'll tell you what the problem is if you go with trading. Then when you do an FMC, when there's a market rips, all the traders are going to want to go live on the trading channel, right? Because it's a trading channel,
right?
So everyone's going to want to go live on the trading channel.
But how is that?
And I'll give you another example. The other thing is that would mean that theoretically I would never ever do it on that channel, right? Because I'm not a trader.
But you could go trade. Yeah.
Let's be honest here, right? It's probably
I would never do a show.
Main degens, like.
Well, then what's the goal? I think we're just missing the bigger picture. What you want is like what's the goal? The goal is to help people make money and help people trade, right? Like by us doing a degen something, it's good because they're gonna go, high leverage. But degen is like leverage doesn't matter. Like if we tell people to go 50 leverage, we can give them proper trades. Say we take it with proper risk management. If you want to go degen.
For small cap coins, it's like, guys, we gotta engine ourselves for a bull market. It may come at any moment, so we need a tool that we know that works. And it's like people want to trade when the markets are moving. Right now, everyone wants to trade. Like,
or it's Banter.
Having spent a lot of time in what I consider degen space versus what you may consider degen space, I think it's important to make the distinction between what actually is the degen channel that you're going for. For example, I saw Pepe at 100K. I saw Harry, Barmer, Sonic, and New or whatever it is at like 130K. Like that's degen world for me. So if you're talking about high risk trade degens of things that are already at like 10, 20, 30, $40 million market cap, like that's not at all what I consider degen. So I think it's very, very important that it's clear as to what degen is for
It's
yourself
a
in making the
10x
channel.
long degen, in your opinion.
No, I think, guys, I think
numbers
guys,
don't matter. It's not about
guys, you're overanalyzing it. You're overanalyzing it. It's you.
Well, I mean,
it's
like, what sort of degen channel do you want it to be?
Ran, I think going forward for your other channels, having a premium channel is much more credible and looks much better. And as you said, more people can get involved in a premium channel as opposed to a very the name degen, guys. It is what it is. It's degenerate. Okay, so it's not the mainstream. It's not
forget about.
It's not any of those.
Forget
things.
about. Yeah, so you're saying banter premium and not banter high risk.
For sure,
guys.
For sure, long term, it makes much more sense.
Yeah,
I think we should premium up
No,
the
but-
existing channel.
No, why I'm
then-
saying premium, guys, is we're about to launch products that are meant to be premium. I'm not going to speak about those products,
100%.
but that's supposed to be premium. Now all of a sudden you want to make a channel that's premium. Like, how does that highlight on a whole bunch of new stuff we're about to drop? Like, that should be the premium. That should be the private. That should be the.
Doesn't it act as a filter? Doesn't it act as a filter or a funnel into those products?
Yeah, but what's premium about it then? You know what I mean? Like, we're trying to create premium products right now, and now we're going to go make a channel called premium. So I don't know. Just my thoughts.
And also, I think the
Okay,
problem with
Guys,
premium
okay,
is
guys, let's vote. There is a poll. If you haven't voted, please vote in the poll, and then let's carry on with the actual content meeting, because I think the market's actually pumping.
Okay, just quickly, I had a thought. Someone asked a question like last week about why Harry Dent gets a lot of views for being super negative or whatever. And the basic thing is he doesn't create like cognitive dissonance with what his titles are versus how he is on the show. So he doesn't make like a really negative title and then backs it up with being like happy and positive on the show. He is negative and plain and whatnot on his show. So there's no cognitive dissonance. Like, Ran, you're a generally happy, enthusiastic person. So when the title is like very doomy and gloomy, but then you're like really happy and positive and stuff on stream, like the two don't match up together well. And when I look at George, he's the same. Titles are boring. He's kind of boring. No offense to him. Like the title and how they are very in line.
The reason why George Gammon and Harry Dent do well is because there's a subset of people that are naturally pessimistic, and they appeal to the people that are naturally pessimistic, and that's what it is.
Yeah,
and
that's 99% of people. Yeah,
in bear markets, those people will continue to be you'll fuel their fire. In bull market, those are the people that are continuously calling the market down. You've seen it a million times. So
yeah,
we need to decide who we want to be.
Yeah, exactly. I think the way that you are is perfect, and I would try and I just think that like doing the thumbnails in line with how you are and what it is that you want to be in terms of the scenario that you just explained would just add more coherency. That's all.
All right, cool. Let's go into content. Appreciate the feedback. We had a great show. We had a great show. The Drive to Survive, the reality show, Banter Reality, was unfucking believable. Best performing video on the channel. Shows we're onto something. So onto something very, very big here.
Very good. Very good.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Very,
I just
very
think
good.
it'd be nice to get some more distribution, because it's not just crypto like content, it's also lifestyle first.
So number one, we need to be more consistent. We can't be one and then drop another one. It's got to be once a week, and it's got to be something that people look forward to once a week. Number two, it's got to be sponsored, because it costs a lot of money to produce that show. I mean, flying Alistair to Singapore, paying for his hotels, paying for his accommodation. We have to buy equipment. There's editing. It's a proper production. So we need a sponsor. So if it's going to work, we need to have a sponsor. Yeah, amazing. So, yeah, but it's going to be amazing, and we can really build product into it, and it's going to be fucking amazing when we do. When we start building product into it, and like for example, if OKX wants us to come to the office, we'll come to the office, but they must pay us. You know, like stuff like that. But it was really good. Anyway, let's go into content. We've got a few minutes left. Let's do the content for today. So can anyone actually tell me why the market is running? I mean, basic question.
The shutdown news. Literally the shutdown news. The shutdown is not happening now for 45 days. So market is taking in a good way. US futures are up as well.
How much are the US futures up?
Around 0.67%. Nothing much like, but when it opens, it's going to be up for sure. Like the stock market.
You agree with me? You agree with me that the crypto shouldn't have responded the way crypto responded? Like, why did we have $1,000 candle in Bitcoin?
Yes, it shouldn't have responded that way, and it did.
So it means we're missing something.
No, we're not. There doesn't have to be a fundamental reason for the market to go up the whole time. Like, it's just a lot of shorts would have built up on this government shutdown, and maybe they just got flown out. Like we saw.
Why do you think that a lot of shorts would have built out in the government shutdown on crypto?
Look, to be completely honest, from my perspective, I believe that it's getting to the point of a crunch point with investors having to weigh up the probabilities of whether the Fed is going to be able to do what it is that they've said they're going to do. And basically, from my perspective and what I research and keep track of every day, it's the likelihood of the Fed choosing to follow through on what they're trying to accomplish will mean a massive economic.
Then why
crash.
Is the Dixie not reflect? Then why is the Dixie not reflecting it? And why that was the first thing that reflected it? So why is the Dixie not reflecting it?
Dixie just hit the upper bound.
Well, because
of
I watched
resistance, I think
someone posted a very interesting video in the Telegram chat actually about the fact of Bitcoin replicating and being very similar to commodities, and commodities are absolutely flying, and it doesn't have, and if commodities are flying, then the dollar is flying, and if Bitcoin is a commodity in and of itself, then that would be exactly what it meant by a digital gold, because when commodities are flying, gold generally has a run as well. So if Bitcoin is going to be what it is that everyone has stated it to be, then now is the perfect time for it to start showing that.
Why wasn't it last week or the week before?
Well, I mean, like you can go through a lot of things. You can go through chart wise. You can go through waiting for economic news.
Well, I mean,
guys,
I think we need to hold it down, and we need to either that, or we're going to come back after the fact and we're going to go, oh, we should have known. So the question is there? I'll give you an example of what I think may be happening. Maybe the people think that because the government shutdown has been averted, maybe that means that the ETF is going to be approved sometime this year. I'm speculating. I'm not saying I don't know anything or I've read anything. I'm just saying that could be one reason, and so people are doing it. Like, I'm trying to understand.
One more, especially for Solana. Obviously the liquidations were pretty substantial, but the Galaxy Force sales also didn't really the market was anticipating that, especially on tokens like Sol, and they actually haven't even sold anything yet. So that's one factor.
Also there's Solana DevCon happening at the end of the month. We know that they're going to gear up for amazing announcements and stuff like that.
What is happening with ETH at the moment? Because that's obviously the driver to all these altcoin pops at the moment, because we're seeing a few of them. Like, it's looking really strong.
Bunch of
ETFs. Something's happening.
Bunch of ETH ETFs are supposed to be getting approved as well. There was that thing with
they start trading today. There's a whole lot of ETH ETFs that start trading today. But they're futures
and that
ETFs.
news that they tried buying, I think it was 450,000 ETH or something, and then the SEC said that they weren't allowed to buy them pre-approval, so they had to sell them, and now they have to wait until their fund is approved to buy them again. So that's also pretty encouraging for ETH as well. There's a lot of things that have been happening over the last month or two in terms of integrations and partnerships and positive movements. Whether it's just all coming at the same time, and I mean, it's hard to pinpoint exactly one thing as to why the market.
We need to be more focused. So let's rather just focus on what we do know and try and make it a bit,
from a market perspective. There doesn't like there's no point in trying to say, oh, this could happen because of this happened. Like the market is seriously illiquid on weekends, so it's very, very easy to move the price. Traditional, all these hedge funds and stuff would have been hedged into this shutdown, and when it was averted, all of them would have had to short cover a bit. This probably caused some sort of an upward movement in crypto, but like the reason for Solana going up, there was no news, no nothing. One guy, and we know who it was, got absolutely blown out. He lost like $1.5 million on a short, and he said, I lost big today. We can see in the open interest, all 10% of Solana's total open interest was wiped out. ETH, yeah, this is just preempting flows into the ETH futures ETF because they literally do have to buy a certain amount to meet the demand when these futures ETFs go live. So like no real fundamental reason, just shorts build up into the government shutdown, hedging. Sol guy got absolutely ripped. People are just like it's the start of October. You're tweeting about how, oh, October is going to be great and Q4 is going to be great. Everyone's buying into it. So that's just the self-made narrative on Twitter that people are buying into. Very simple.
Okay, all right. What else is going on? What else is in the news?
The Powell is actually speaking today, and he's actually speaking on monetary policy at 3. Also, there's a few things happening this week.
Note that the market has decoupled from the traditional stock market. So like crypto is running in traditional stock markets not doing so well. So we've had up days on crypto. Also note Bitcoin.
Yeah, so that's an interesting thing. Like whether crypto is going to. Yeah, I saw that chart recently of whether crypto is now going to have a run up to where the stock market is currently at, because they have decoupled, and then they're going to even out, or if the stock market is going to keep coming down in relation to crypto going, because they're completely unbalanced. So whether it's just like a fund transference or they need to play catch up, because crypto was decimated against the stock market. So
DMR,
I feel like they're
DMR
balancing
physical.
themselves out.
DMR physical. Our researcher Joe will get.
I'll reach out to him.
Yeah, I'll reach out to us. We're seeing DMR. I mean, I guess for anyone who wants to join, our research team in our Telegram, you can just let us know in the chat here, and then our head of research will actually get hold of you guys and see if you guys could join us. All right, so Solana. I think Solana is definitely a story today. Rune.
I see Ben tweeted about he was wrong in September. Fair play to him for actually.
Yeah, did you see that? And I got a lot.
And I tweeted I was right. And I tweeted I was right. Joe, if you could timestamp that, if you guys could timestamp that show where I said screenshot this and post it. Let's see if we can get people posting it.
Okay, I presume it was on September 1st. I think it was when you did your tweet.
Yeah, I don't know if you could probably see it because I posted a screenshot of it on my Twitter, and you could probably see what show the guy. Yeah.
Okay, nice.
Okay. Nice.
Yeah, I suppose from a like there's a lot of altcoin talk. Like Link has their smart con starting. People are starting to think that there could be announcements. This time won't be different. I'm still short Link. I think it's I think Link is now towards the top of its 500-day range. It's been rejected here like 10 times. Yeah, just would be careful in Link. Also, there's like DYDX, Cosmos. That Cosmos first conference is on this week as well. Starts on Wednesday or today, or no, tomorrow or Wednesday. And people are thinking that DYDX could announce V4. Remember, DYDX had that massive unlock towards the end of last year. They delayed it for a year. It actually will double the price it'll double circulating supply. So don't be surprised if DYDX try and absolutely rip their price in the next month or two because they know that their circulating supply is going to double. So I just keep an eye on DYDX quite closely.
Yeah. Also, just one thing I want to add to my show every day now is I want to add to my show like an entertainment segment. So like I have been doing it. The entertainment segment is usually the video about like Biden, or just things that are entertaining, regardless of whether they're 100% crypto related or not. So I want to add at least 1 or 2 to my show every single day as a matter of like things. So if you see something that's like funny, entertaining, even if it's not 100% crypto related.
Like you tweeted something on Biden and the misinformation on Twitter. I don't know if that counts.
Yeah,
it's not really funny, but
yeah, like it doesn't need to be crypto related. Like just we can go bigger than crypto. Like things that are big and cool and nice and amazing. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I just think that entertainment segment in my show is something that I really want.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea also for the retention and for the overall experience for the users that are watching.
Amazing. Who's this? It's a new voice. Who's this speaking?
No, it's Chris.
Oh, that's Chris. Okay, Chris.
Maybe it's the mic. Maybe it's the mic.
Doesn't talk much. Chris doesn't talk much, but
we'll try to
he
do
tweets
better.
much and he writes much, but he doesn't talk much.
I saw the Do-Kwon messages that got leaked. I swear they've been leaked before, but yeah, he basically said that he was faking transactions and it's very easy to do and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, man, it just doesn't look amazing at all. I know that that's dead and buried, but I'm just saying that these messages are slowly coming out, and he is due to be released, I think, in the next week or two. So
listen, if you want a real degen trade, I'm giving you like a real fucking degen trade. Real fucking degen trade is, I mean, when Suzu gets released from prison, and my sources tell me that what the news neglected to say was that it's up to 4 months. So it's not a 4-month sentence, it's up to 4 months. And he could be out in 24, 48, a week. Like, he doesn't need to serve all 4 months in prison. Once the liquidator, once the lawyers agree that he's given them possibly all the information, that he has cooperated and stuff like that, they've got no grounds to keep holding him anymore, then obviously OpenX is going to shoot up. I'm not telling you to buy OpenX. I'm just saying if you're in for a real fucking degen trade, like it's almost like, I'm not say guaranteed because nothing's guaranteed. Like the next thing, Kyle gets actually arrested or something. But I mean, there is a trade there.
my only issue is that now that he's cooperating with these people via the jail, they're going to dig deep into books. They're going to dig into transactions, everything that happened. Like, they might find insider trading charges and all these sort of things in these things, and that's potentially why they weren't cooperating slightly. Like, we know they didn't take any insider capital, cool, all this sort of stuff. But if they start really digging deep into these things and they start seeing, oh, okay, these guys had so much money and we're doing all these sort of shady things, I don't know. Maybe it's not over for these guys just yet because they now have access to all of
yeah, look. Right now, understand what they're being helped for. I'm going to give it to you the way that I see it. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. So I remember in the beginning when I told Kyle, when I met Kyle, I said, like, what's the story of the liquidator? And he said, he insinuated, look, we try to help the guy. The guy like thought he doesn't need us. So we step back and we said, oh, like, you know what, if you've got this under control, great. Then it seems like maybe the liquidator needs information, and the guys are going, well, listen, you asked for information, you knew better, good luck to you, go and sort it out. And then this guy played a chess move where he realized they were there, and he did. Look, maybe there's shit under the hood, maybe there's no shit under the hood. But one thing we know for sure is that Sue's going to get released within 4 months, and it's probably going to be, let's say within 4 months, I think it's probably going to be within a week. I might be wrong, I might be completely wrong, but I've got a feeling that they're doing everything that they can to get him released, right? I think jail in Singapore is not a good place. So,
but what about Kyle Davis? He still has to be arrested. He still has to do his 4 months or start his 4 months.
I would imagine what's going on is he's going to say, look, I'm overseas. I'm not coming back to Singapore. I'm not coming back because I'm busy and I've got a new life and I live in Dubai and whatever else. What information would you like in order to void this summons or void the subpoena? And then I would imagine, I don't know any of this, just I'm just imagining how legal process would play out. The lawyer would send him a list of questions. Kyle would respond to a list of questions. The lawyer would ask for another list of questions. Kyle would respond. And then, over time, they would get to a point where either Kyle avoids Singapore forever because, they're not going to arrest him. This is not the type of crime that they would arrest you for through an extradition. You don't extradite you because you're not cooperating with the liquidator. So I think that what would happen is I think that what they're probably trying to do is get Sue released, and one of the way to get Sue released is for both of them to come together and actually give the liquidators all information the liquidators actually want. That's what I think is happening in the background.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I must say, I think it was a trade move by the fucking liquidator. The liquidators must be very fucking smart. But then you think to yourself that these liquidators are very, very, very smart people. Why are they very smart people? Because they deal with people that have collapsed all the time. So they're dealing with SBFs all the time. And if you think about what happened with SBF, the minute that John Ray walked in, he said, I don't want anything from you, Sam. Just leave. I don't want anything from you. Like, the fuck out. Don't contact me again. Like we've got a process. We're following the process. Now, you know, what's to say that the Singapore liquidation didn't start off like that as well?
Yeah.
Right. So again, I don't know. I'm speculating. I'm just saying, if you're in a real DJ mode, like if you're like fucking like, you know, if I don't know, if you went to the casino and you won a couple of $1,000s this weekend and you don't know what to do with them, then that's what I would do.
But when Suzu is being subpoenaed in US courts actually, so coming up with the trial of SPX, say if the FTX fallout, you know, is blamed or, you know, pinned to Suzu, that might even lead to extradition cases on Suzu and Kyle
No,
Davis.
I can't hear it. Can anybody else hear who's talking? I'm hearing it very badly.
So I just mean that, you know, Suzu has a subpoena in US bankruptcy case, and with FTX trial coming up within this week, probabilities are that Suzu could get named in the FTX collapse, and probably that might lead to even snowballing and you know, case being litigated against Suzu and subpoenaed, and you know, by being brought back to
Is the FTX case this week?
Yeah.
Is the FTX case this week?
Yeah, on Wednesday.
The FTX case starts on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Is it public? Is it televised? Is it? Can we listen to it or not?
Well, I have to check the
details. Yes,
but, you know, yeah.
If yes, we should. If yes, we should start a channel and just watch just stay up all night and just play the case and comment on it. It'll be like the Johnny Depp case. I'm telling you.
Why don't we use this as an opportunity to launch a channel and then switch the branding over to a new channel afterwards?
Yeah, so we should find out. Researchers, can you find out first what the story is? How long it's expected to last? What's the court blocked off? Is it televised? Like what? Like, can we get footage from the courtroom? Should we send someone to the US? All that.
Yeah, we're going to do something similar for Spaces, so we'll ask Angela too.
Yeah. All right, guys, keep looking. I've got to jump, so keep looking, and we'll chat later on in the day.
For now, we've got like week ahead stuff, and then we've got ETTS, we've got Solana. There's no like news, but there's a lot around like you being right in Q4, September, what it's like, monthly performance from there on, the monthly close, government shutdown averted, like there's stuff like that.
Yeah, I just still don't think that you've nailed the DJ of the day. Like those are cool, but I think we can. I think it's green. It's greenest it's been in. It's the most momentum we've had in weeks. We should try and
let's just look at altcoins then, like that we can make a watch list of altcoins, because I have a few ideas. Like there's tokens to watch if this market continues.
Yeah. All right, cool. Let's go. I'm going up to the meeting. Sorry, guys.
Okay. See you later, guys.
Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.